Since the dawn of communication, man has struggled to convey his mind state within to the mind states without. In the beginning, there were hieroglyphs, conveying information pictorially in a reproducible way. Then our natural greed for efficiency gave in to a ruthless economy of symbols. No longer did the art encode the meaning, but instead gave it to sounds. Similarities of form now only hinted at the true underlying significance. But with the advent of the cyber internet e-web, everything changed. Armed with 7 bits of ASCII character space, visionaries began to explore faces like and then in 1999 a Japanese artist 12 by 12 pixel grid, and soon the floodgates were opened. Unicode, standards, love, art, beauty, celebrated. No longer confined to the petty standards of before, we were able to move forwards. But it did not take long for the hyper-real to set in. Now emojis, so proliferated in their use, refer to nothing but themselves. With their own implicit meaning and rules, how can we say we've won the pictorial revolution? Will history repeat itself? Can we save our symbols with the creation of the esolang, to take these symbols as atoms in a new language, this time defined formally, but using their underlying signifié? Alright, and welcome everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for 3.3k subs. Thank you to the algorithm for randomly recommending a video of mine from a year ago to become randomly viral. So really appreciate it. And if that inspires you to make a YouTube channel, you never know. You could just make a couple videos, go randomly viral, call it a day, have 3k subs. It's good to go. But anyways, back to the program. Thank you for everyone who stuck around. And question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, low, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. You are correct. The language for today is Emoji Code. So, like I said in the intro, emojis, they give you an intuitive understanding for a representation of something just compressed into a single tiny image. Let's see if this language, Emoji Code, which is a full-blown programming language, toes the line between programming language and esoteric programming language. Let's see if it can do that. Let's see if it can inspire us to code better using emojis. Let's see how it goes. So we are going to grab the pre-built binaries. All right, so here I am in Sublime Text, mixing it up, new editor, and we're going to write some emoji code. So the problem with emoji code is that you do actually have to type in the emojis, which if you're actually on the Mac is not too bad. You have click the globe key, you got your emoji picker. I'm sure you'll have something like that in Windows as well. In Linux, you could just like have a D menu pop-up prompt where it like pick an emoji or whatever. I have something kind of like that here where I can like just pick an emoji on Raycast. Download Raycast if you have it on Mac. But for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to be pasting stuff in so you don't have to see me struggle to find the correct emoji. So I have written these programs before. I'm just pasting them back in. So hopefully that'll be good to go. So without further ado, let's begin some emoji code, some basics. Basics for now. We can go first thing in emoji code. You always start with a flag. So it's like begin, got the flag. Good metaphor. Next thing, I'm not a huge fan of, the grape. It seems to be the like symbol of emoji code. So you can use the grape to say begin, and then the watermelon to say end. So you're saying begin and then end. I guess it's like the do end block in like Ruby or something. I mean, not my favorite, not exactly intuitive, but let's move on. Next, here's a good one, the print. The print statement is the guy smiling. So it's like he's talking. So that emoji. And then the literals is like the quotes, like the string in quotes is the ABC emoji. So ABC, ABC, you can just put your text in here. So I'm just going to put in hello esolangers. And then like the semicolon at the end of the line to like end the statement is the exclamation mark. So if we have this, And we'll just run the compiler on the program. Let's just run the program here. And we have hello SOLangers. So there we go. That's the beginning. So you can judge the metaphors how you like. The guy talking is pretty cool. Strings between the ABC, not bad. Grape and watermelon. I don't know how I feel about that, but let's keep going. So one thing that you might want to do is variable assignment. So for example, these numbers, you can assign it to a variable with the arrow. So this, much like Rust or something, it's const by default. So we're not going to be able to change this variable before. And also another kind of strange thing is that the name, like the right value comes first, then the L value, or like the name comes after the value, basically, in this language. So you're putting this into this container. So that's pretty cool. So let's go on with the classic, an absolute classic SOLang program, and that is the Fibonacci program. You knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Let's get on with the show. So variable assignment, as you saw there, that's a constant. But what if we want a mutable value? Well, you just add the crayon. It's like he's writing in the mutable value. And then the new emoji, and then the name of the variable. Then you can do the same thing for the number 1. So kind of weird that it's on the right side, but whatever. So that's the Fibonacci 1, Fibonacci 2. Next, the while loop. And now this is pretty cool. It's just the kind of loop emoji. That, in addition to while true, Boolean values are represented as the thumbs up and the thumbs down. So while true is while thumbs up. And then a new block. So we're going to add the grape and the watermelon again. So we'll just do the classical Fibonacci thing, assign it to a temporary value. Here's something interesting. To add plus equals is arrow leftwards into the variable and the plus sign, and then the next variable. So that's plus equals. You might not be able to see the plus too good there. Then we'll just reset the temp. And remember to use the crayon when grabbing a mutable value. And then that's it. So now we just print out our value. And we'll add the quotes here, and then the name of the variable. And then because this is an integer, this is not a string literal, we have to wrap it in magnets. Kind of weird that it's magnets. I don't really get the metaphor there, but okay. Finally, end it off with a exclamation mark, save, and then that'll be our program. All right, so let's just run the program here. Let's just compile the program here, Cool, and now let's run the program and put the output into a text file because it's going to be too long for us. Otherwise, like, it's going to just rip by too fast. And so that sounds good. So let's open up the text file, and here it is. Here's the hello SOLangers, and this is the Fibonacci series as it increases, obviously, until we hit max int, and then we're just going to flip-flop between the integer overflows and underflows. Looks good, right? So here it is. Take a second to soak it all in. We've got this guy's the talking face. This is what assignment looks like. These are mutable variables. This is the loop. These are booleans. This is the beginning and end block, and we could end it there if this was just a standard SOLang, but this ain't no standard SOLang, because holy lord is Emoji Code like developed way more than the standard SOLang. If you actually look here at the language reference, first of all, look at the amount of docs that we have for this language. They're not playing around. This is a language with an LLVM backend, an emoji language with an LLVM backend. That's insane. We've got enums, we've got protocols, we've got generics, we've got classes, but most of all, and this is the most mind-blowing thing, we've got threads in emoji lang. How many SOLangs can just claim they have threads? Not many, some for sure. not only do they have threads, but they have thread primitives. We're talking locks. We're talking mutexes. So that to me is insane. Emoji Code has so much to offer. I was thinking maybe we check out a project that's kind of using it to its full potential. I think that'd be kind of cool. A project that we don't have to write ourselves because writing an emoji code is a little bit painful, but we can give some love to the people that put the work in. Hopefully their code gets recognized and we can learn some emoji code along the way. The thing I've chosen to demo just on a quick GitHub search is this Xanthes web server in emoji code, which I think is pretty cool. So I think you guys are gonna like it. So let's grab that and let's read through it. Let's read through it first. Before we read through it, let's just make sure it works. So we'll just write emoji C, and then we'll run the program. And now we have a web server at localhost 8888. And here we go to localhost 8888, and bang, that beautiful 404 page from the Nginx like days, but it says emoji code. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Now let's quickly make an index page. HTML body hello emoji code. All right, and I quickly changed the web root to my current folder, and I made that quick HTML page, and bang, would you look at that? We've got a legit web server right here in emoji code. So I was going to say we should quickly step through it, learn what it does, and then that's it. So this web server written for us kindly works like the following. So basically, this beer emoji is kind of an unwrap like in Rust. So it says ignore the error if there is one. So this is saying on port 8888, we're going to hit the server. By the way, this is from the sockets library. So it is opening a socket, gets the web root. Here's a string literal for the 404 page. And here is the HTTP header. And here we go for reading a file from the directory. Again, I'm just showing you the highlights of this code because you've probably already seen a lot of emojis today, so don't want to overwhelm your Zoomer senses, because I can tell they're tingling through the mirror, through the monitor. So here we are simply grabbing the file if it exists, and here you can see this is the method to grab the file. So remember, emojis are methods. So this is saying go read the file at web root path, and remember magnets are how we interpolate strings, and then this is all coded in this string literal. So if we find the file, we're going to return 200 OK, as well as the contents of the file, and that's going to be interpolated here in this string. And then here we have the HTTP header, and when there's two carriage returns new lines, then that means that the actual response starts. Classic HTTP stuff. And then here is the main entry point of the program, as well as the workers. So this program is also multi-threaded. Very nice, and it creates these many workers to handle the requests that come in. So it's not going to stall on just one request or wait for one request to be finished before it serves the next one. It has 512 threads. So very, very cool. And this is basically how the threading syntax works. It's the thread emoji. It's the thread emoji. Can you believe it? Absolutely wonderful. Kind of delightful to see that. And then here we have the guy throwing trash emoji is how they join threads back to the main, like the main context, like pthread join. So yeah, so that's basically an example of a much more sophisticated emoji code program that this guy wrote, and I'm very happy to be running it, and it totally works. Here it is, my HTML file being served by Emoji Code. You could probably throw this up on like a Google Cloud server somewhere. Serve your site with Emoji Code. I'm sure it'll get you a lot of rep at the next anime meetup con that you go to. Just saying. So this is Emoji Code. Here is the standard library. Oh wow, he adds emojis to his commit messages. That's very clever. Very, very cool. Links in the description, as well as this guy Zenthi's Emoji Code web server. I am the first star, happy to be the first star that I found on GitHub, and this is also going to be in the description. So yeah. Alright, and welcome back to the outro. Finally, one of these. Haven't done one of these in a while. I would rank Emoji Code as my third favorite SOlang. It is definitely the most impressed I've been with the development of an SOlang for sure, but I think the other ones are a little bit more novel, a little bit more fun. Gotta give Emoji Code smack dab in the middle. Very cool stuff. And yeah, thanks for joining. Thanks for sticking all the way to the end. And to those that say this is just like Conlang Critic for programming languages, well, I did definitely steal his outro. I didn't even realize how much I stole it until people started commenting, and then I went back and saw some of those. I was like, wow, I stole I stole that outro pretty hard. But that'd be cool if I was. But I think this is just a little chill, little pseudo-intellectual content and bad programming. Hopefully it's good, it's relaxed. I think Online Critic is dope, but probably not that kind of channel, but it would be cool if I was. Anyways, thank you for tuning in, and I will catch you all next time. Peace.